Picea sitchensis. The Sitka spruce is a large coniferous evergreen tree growing to almost 100 meters tall, and with a trunk diameter at breast height that can exceed 5 meters. It is by far the largest species of spruce and the fifth largest conifer in the world, and the third tallest conifer species. The Sitka spruce is one of the few species documented to reach 91 feet in height. Its name is derived from the community of Sitka, Alaska. Description: the bark is thin and scaly, flaking off in small circular plates 5 to 20 centimeters across. The crown is broad conic in young trees, becoming cylindric in older trees. Old trees may not have branches lower than 30 to 40 meters. The shoots are very pale buff brown, almost white, and glabrous but with prominent pulvini. The leaves are stiff, sharp and needle-like, 15 to 25 millimeters long, flattened in cross-section. Dark glaucous blue-green above with 2 or 3 thin lines of stomata, and blue-white below with 2 dense bands of stomata. The cones are pendulous, slender, cylindrical, 6 to 10 centimeters long and 2 centimeters broad when closed, opening to 3 centimeters broad. They have thin, flexible scales 15 to 20 millimeters long. The bracts just above the scales are the longest of any spruce, occasionally just exerted and visible on the closed cones. They are green or reddish, maturing pale brown 5 to 7 months after pollination. The seeds are black, 3 millimeters long, with a slender, 7 to 9 millimeters long pale brown wing. Size: more than a century of logging has left only a remnant of the spruce forest. The largest trees were cut long before careful measurements could be made. Trees over 90 meters tall may still be seen in Pacific Rim National Park and Carman-Walburn Provincial Park on Vancouver Island. British Columbia tall is the tallest tree in Canada, and in Olympic National Park, Washington, and Prairie Creek Redwood State Park, California, 2 are at the last site are just over 96 meters tall. The Wheat spruce is the largest in the world with a trunk volume of 337 cubic meters, a height of 75.6 meters, and a 4.55 meters dBH. It is located near the Wheat River in Olympic National Park, about 26 kilometers from the Pacific Ocean. Age: Sitka spruce is a long-lived tree, with individuals over 700 years old known. Because it grows rapidly under favorable conditions, large size may not indicate exceptional age. The Wheat spruce has been estimated to be only 350 to 450 years old, but adds more than a cubic meter of wood each year. Root system: living in an extremely wet climate, the Sitka has a shallow root system with long lateral roots and few branchings. Fire danger: despite the prevalence of Sitka spruce in cool, wet climates, its thin bark and shallow root system make it susceptible to fire damage. Taxonomy: DNA analysis has shown that only Picea briana has a more basal position than Sitka spruce to the rest of the spruce. The other 33 species of spruce are more derived, which suggests that Picea originated in North America. Distribution and habitat: Sitka spruce is native to the west coast of North America, with its northwestern limit on Kenai Peninsula, Alaska, and its southeastern limit near Fort Bragg in Northern California. It is closely associated with the temperate rainforests and is found within a few kilometers of the coast in the southern portion of its range. North of Oregon, its range extends inland along river floodplains, but nowhere does its range extend more than 80 kilometers from the Pacific Ocean and its inlets. Uses: Sitka spruce is of major importance in forestry for timber and paper production. Outside its native range, it is particularly valued for its fast growth on poor soils and exposed sites where few other trees can be grown successfully in ideal conditions. Young trees may grow 1.5 meters per year. It is naturalized in some parts of Ireland and Great Britain where it was introduced in 1831 and New Zealand, though not so extensively as to be considered invasive. Sitka spruce is also planted extensively in Denmark, Norway and Iceland. In Norway, Sitka spruce was introduced in the early 1900s. An estimated 50,000 hectares have been planted in Norway, mainly along the coast from Vest-Agder in the south to Troms in the north. It is more tolerant to wind and saline ocean air, and grows faster than the native Norway spruce. Sitka spruce is used widely in piano, harp, violin, and guitar manufacture, as its high strength-to-weight ratio and regular, knot-free rings make it an excellent conductor of sound. For these reasons, the wood is also an important material for sailboat spars, aircraft wing spars, and the nosecones of Trident missiles. The Wright brothers' flyer was built using Sitka spruce, as were many aircraft before World War II. During that war, aircraft such as the British Mosquito used it as a substitute for strategically important aluminium. Newly grown tips of Sitka spruce branches are used to flavor spruce beer and are boiled to make syrup. The root bark of Sitka spruce trees is used in native Alaskan basket weaving designs. Culture: a unique specimen with golden foliage that used to grow on Haida Gwaii, known as Kiadkayas or the golden spruce, is sacred to the Haida Native American people. It was illegally felled in 1997 by Grant Hadwin, although saplings grown from cuttings can now be found near its original site. Chemistry: the stilbene-glucosides astringin, isohapontin and picket can be found in the bark of Picea sitchensis. Burls: in the Olympic National Forest in Washington, Sitka spruce trees near the ocean sometimes develop tumors, also called burls. According to a guidebook entitled Olympic Peninsula, damage to the tip of the bud of a Sitka spruce causes the growth cells to divide more rapidly than normal to form this swelling a burl. Even though the burls may look menacing, they do not affect the overall tree growth.